What's up, guys? Mr. Granator here, and welcome to the Deep End. And I'm here with my buddies Desperado and Two Beasts for Gaming.
Good on you guys.
What's going on?
And tonight we're gonna hit something real deep that strikes a real chord with a lot of people. The topics of depression and dealing with loss. If you read the title of my video and in the description. And well, guys, we got 30 minutes. Maybe one of you guys want to start something off.
Beast.
Or you want me? Okay, well, I'll take the reins. He's just over. He's just gonna pick his nose over there. I'll take the reins here. Depression for me is something very serious. I have it myself, and some people have said that I'm manic depressive or whatever. Basically means depression in a whole nother. Like in a whole nother sense of the word. Like depression to the max. Like shit. I was gonna try not to curse in this one too. Wow, you know what? I'm actually going to look up some facts here.
Okay, well, depression. I know it affects pretty much everyone. Everyone has a touch of it in some form or another.
Whether big or small.
Some are better at hiding it than others too. Like I've seen on my Facebook recently, these two different girls telling them want to kill themselves. They ain't good for nobody, blah blah blah.
Depression is a state of low mood and aversion to activity that can affect a person's thoughts, behavior, feelings, and sense of well-being. People with a depressed mood can feel sad, anxious, empty, hopeless, helpless, worthless, guilty, irritable, angry, ashamed, or restless. They may lose interest in activities that were once pleasurable, experience loss of appetite or overeating. He'll have problems concentrating, remembering details, or making decisions, experience relationship difficulties, and may contemplate, attempt, or commit suicide. Insomnia, excessive sleeping, fatigue, aches, pains, digestive problems, or reduced energy may also be present. Okay.
Is it bad that pretty much everything, part of the stuff you read, I go deal with?
Oh, don't worry, I get the same thing. I don't sleep at night and I sleep all day.
Anything to add, Desperado, since you're just sitting there?
I mean, really, we've got one more after this. This one really doesn't, hit well. I guess the term. This one doesn't really hit well. We can spend the next 25 minutes talking about the other.
Depression, I guess, if I had to say anything on it, it can come from a lot of things. I mean, people worried about, stressing over money, or financial problems, loss of a family member, etc.
Exactly. Now that I really get down to thinking about it, I kind of, some of the things that can cause depression is, you know, say for instance, you know, your girlfriend that you've been with for 5, 6 months, even several years, just up and, you know, something happens and she leaves you. Or vice versa, your boyfriend that you've been with for several years, or several months or several years, just something happens and up and leaves you. That can put you in a really down state. Believe me, I know here recently I've gone through that.
Yeah, but see, y'all two are young. See, I've been, I'm gonna be open and honest on this shit. I was with my little girl's mom for over 12 years. The day that we split up, you know, it hit me hard, and especially, you know, a couple of months after I tried to, you know, me and her tried to talk, and I was wanting to work things out with her, and kind of hard when you're sitting there on the front porch that night, and she looks at you and tells you that she's not in love with you like she used to be. I mean, that hits
Yeah.
hard.
And depression can also lead to a drinking problem.
Yep.
Can lead to drinking, drugs, really, and if it gets too bad or too bad off and nothing really there to help it, it can lead to other things.
I mean, it leads to alcoholism, drug abuse,
Another
etc.
another one which I'm sure all three of us has experienced at one point in time. Another thing that can really trigger depression is bullying. And this is a big reason why I'll always tell you. I'll tell you firsthand. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you every single day. I am a big advocate against bullying. I hate bullying. There's no point in it. You know, there's no point in it. I mean, I don't see what the I really just don't see what the big thrill in bullying somebody is. What does it make you feel strong, make you feel powerful? Nah, it makes you look small.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you what I was told by my mom growing up. Normally, when a bully is picking on you, they're taking the attention off themselves. There's something about themselves that they don't like, and that they're scared that other people will see and start messing with them. So they've got to find somebody to single out and pick on to take the eyes off of the other people looking at them and put it on that person that they're picking on.
Well, even
ease their pain.
Exactly, but you see, the problem with just averting the attention away from yourself is one day the attention's gonna be on you and the cycle just begins again.
Yep.
But bullying itself is a topic for another video altogether.
Yeah.
And let's see, we got
But yeah, it does lead to depression. I mean, I've been there. I've been through it. You know, I wasn't popular in school. I was bullied. And yeah, there was times back when I was in high school, you know, I thought, you know, okay, if all these people fucking hate me, why fucking be here on earth?
Exactly.
You know, ain't nobody gonna fucking miss me.
There were times.
But then it's like you said, Gray, there really is people that would miss you. Your family would miss you. Your mom, your dad, you know.
And I'll be honest with you.
There's ways, you know.
When it really gets down to it, coming to bullying depression because of it. That's lot of the reason that I have depression is because I was bullied so much from preschool up until maybe 10th grade. And really even past 10th grade up to 11th grade, I was bullied mercilessly, non-stop. There were even days that I didn't want to ride the bus home because I knew what was going to happen if I did. I had I had the truancy officer or whatever, the security person take me home in his car because I knew exactly what would happen if I got on that bus.
Yeah. Everybody be picking on you.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd like to see them try now.
Especially if you're overweight.
And that hit
they're really gonna fucking pick on you.
That hit the nail on the head right there. I'm a bigger person myself, and I have been since 6th or 7th grade. And yeah, they did. Yeah, just.
My experiences of bullying and depression, I told you this, Gray. I was born with a birth defect. I was born with a cleft lip and palate. From kindergarten through high school, I was picked on for it because I was different. I didn't look like everybody else. I was fat. I had the birth defect going on, and me going into high school, going through puberty, starting to like girls, I couldn't get a girlfriend. And if I did get a girlfriend, it was the girls that the guys, didn't quite pay attention to, the non-popular girls, the ones that they called ugly and skanky. That was those girls. And yeah, depression hit me real hard, dude. I mean, it really hit me hard because when I was in school, I had an aunt that was an alcoholic, and she had passed away. Well, I was out for 3 days for her funeral, go back to school, and this bully decides that he's gonna throw my aunt, somebody that's just passed away, into his little butt jokes,
Mm-hmm.
And me being depressed over that, being depressed on being picked on, my depression, it turned into anger, hate. And I wound up busting this dude's head wide open. And I got put into in-school suspension for it. And it's just hard on me.
Yeah. Well, I believe it's about. Go ahead.
I was gonna say what you guys were talking earlier, the weight problem in school and bullied because of that. Yeah, I got bullied because of that too, because I'm a bigger dude. And like they weren't bullying me directly in my face, but got that feeling that they were doing it behind my back, and I could tell they were bullying me. Not even doing it in my face, you can have that
it's
feeling.
I see what you're saying, but it's like you're sitting there in class, listening to the teacher talk and shit, and you got these people sitting in behind you, and they're talking about you because you can hear them snickering and laughing, and if you look out of the corner of your eye, you can catch them pointing at you and laughing and shit. That's what really bothered me. And another thing that really bothered me when I was in school was there was this fat kid that always picked on me, but I'd be damned if you picked on him, because if you picked on him and you picked on him, he'd run and tell his brother, which his brother was a senior, and he'd go and tell his buddies, which half of them were seniors, half of them were juniors, and then I'd have to deal with them trying to pick a fight with me.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like every day, dude. Every day through school.
Oh yeah. It's the same stuff every single day. It never gets old to them, and that's the bad thing. But in this last 15, almost 15 minutes, I want to kind of change gears and go to our other topic right now, which is dealing with loss. And I know all three of us have a lot of experience with that.
Yep.
Yep.
And I want to kind of start it off by saying 1, 2, 3, 4 people. 4 people that were very, very, very important in my life passed away in the time of 6 years. And it never gets. I'll start it. It never gets easy. It never, the pain never goes away. It just gets a little less hard to deal with as time goes on.
Yep. There's always gonna be that empty spot in your heart for those people.
Exactly.
I know from my experience, the one person that I really and truthfully miss the most, I mean, out of everybody that's passed away in my family, is the man who took me and my mom in and raised me as his own. Whenever my dad, by no account, dad walked out on me and my mom, and that was my grandfather.
Yeah.
I mean, to this day, I'll never forget it. I mean, when he was alive, when I was younger, I mistreated him, said things to him that I wished I could go back and take back, but you can't. Once it's done, it's done. But I'll never forget, and this is like a few months before he passed, I'll never forget we had to take him to the hospital for something. And he's laying there, and I look at him, and I called him Dad growing up. I never called him my grandfather or Pawpaw or Peepaw or whatever. I called him my dad. And I looked at him and I said, "Hey Dad," I said, "I love you." And he kind of, gave me this shit-eating grin that he used to give me growing up, when I was growing up. And he goes, "Really now?" I was like, "Yeah, I do." And he said, "Well, I love you too." That's the last time I got to hear him tell me that he loved me. And lo and behold, July the 29th of 2010, God called him home.
Yep.
I'm sorry, y'all. I can't do it.
I understand. You can mute your mic or even.
I mean, there's certain songs that remind me of him, and it gets you thinking about that person. I mean, I know in your situation, Dre, there's certain songs that you can hear that reminds you of your nana and your pawpaw
My mama, my papa, my nanny,
and you too,
and my sister. Something I want to talk about when it comes to this is the one that I believe hit me the most. My nanny was my grandmother. She and I got very, very, very close in the last year she was with us. And there's actually two of them now I think about it, if you don't mind me saying. My grandmother, my nanny, so one Tuesday night, back where we used to live, back at this trailer in the next town over, I heard a bang on the floor in the kitchen. I brushed it off. It was maybe a dish or something fell on the floor, or Tupperware or something. I'll get it in the morning. And I woke up the next morning. I went to bed. I woke up the next morning, and Mama told me when she woke up and came in the kitchen, she saw my nanny laying there in the den. And my nanny had told her that she fell in the kitchen and managed to make it to the den before she passed out. And Mama told me to, before I went to work, to make sure, to check and make sure Nanny was alright. To check and poke my head in her door, make sure she was alright, so I did. And I went to work. 6 hours later I come home. And this is a day that I'll never forget. I came home and immediately opened the door, and immediately I could tell there was something wasn't right. I started making my way through the house to my room. My room was right across from my nanny's room. You could see, if you were standing in my doorway, you could see right into hers. Right across a little hallway thing, I guess. But as I was making my way to my room, I was gonna go, undress and get comfortable and stuff, shorts and a t-shirt or whatever. And before I say anything else, I want to say, me and my grandmother, like I said, we had gotten very close in it last year. And the one thing that we did that I very much enjoyed was every day I'd go into her room and me and her talk for a while, have a little conversation every single day. I could talk to her about stuff I couldn't even talk to my own mom about. Now remember that when I tell you that when I see, her room was on the other side of mine. Mine was closer to the door, but my door was on the other side of the room, facing hers, and her door was facing the living room. Her door was facing the way that I was coming. So her door was open, so I could see inside of her room. So keep what I just told you in mind when I tell you that when I went to my room, before I even got to my room, I didn't get the chance to undress or anything. I saw her right there laying next to her bed, which at the time was a good maybe 3 feet tall. And she was 70 years old. 70 years old, had basically been sick for a good 40 years of her life. Very sick, had been on blood thinners for a lot of her life, had very brittle bones. And apparently she went to go use the bathroom. And I'm not going to say any more about that, but I found her laying face down next to her bed. She was still alive, and she had been there for God only knows how long. I was out of the house for 6 hours that day. So I don't know when she fell, and I don't know how long she had been there, but I do know the first thing I did was I didn't know what to do. I panicked. I called my mom and told her what had happened, and she told me what I could do. She told me that I could try and pick her up. Now, my grandmother had shoulder reconstructive surgery in her left shoulder, so when I tried to pick her up, I heard a pop on the left side, and sounds like a bad thing, but I put her back down. I didn't know what to do. I called my mom, and she said, "All right, well, I'm calling your uncle and your aunt, and they're gonna come over." And da 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 da. They came over maybe 20 minutes later, and they called the ambulance. And I wish I'd have went with them to the hospital. I wish I'd have went with them to Savannah, because what they did, they found a bleed in her brain at the hospital where we lived, and they life-flighted her to Savannah Memorial Hospital. And at that point, that's where the doctor basically told her, well, she's been on so much blood thinners for so long that, you know, if there's basically no chance in her surviving, and if she did, she'd be a vegetable for the rest of her life. It really just gave us one option, which my nanny had always said that she never wanted to live hooked up to a machine. So my Uncle Clint, my Uncle Freddie, and my mom, all three made the decision to pull the plug. I wish I could have been there to at least.
I want to tell you right now, Tyler. My grandma, she fell and she was diabetic, and she had these fainting spells. Like her blood sugar got real low, she passed out. Well, evidently one night her blood sugar got real low and she passed out. Well, luckily my mom was here when it happened, my granddaddy, and was able to get her back up. Well, they still had to take her to the ER because she was complaining about her wrist hurting. And they called the ambulance come got her, and they took her in. She had fractured her wrist. They done surgery, put pins in it. Well, while she was recovering, she come down with pneumonia and started building up fluid on her lungs, so they had to put her on a machine to help her breathe. Well, they kept giving her antibiotics and stuff, trying to get it under control, but she just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And we had to do what your aunt and your uncle had to do with your Mimo. We had to make the decision on whether or not to leave her on the machine or let her go. Well, we go back into the room to get her to tell us what she wanted. And she looked at us, and I shit you not, Bray, I shit you not, I placed my hand on the Bible that I was telling the God's honest truth. She looked at us and told us, hurry, they're coming. Meaning, some of her family members and my aunt that passed away were coming to get her, to take her home. You wouldn't have wanted to be there when they done that. I try to think of the good times of when she was alive and was not so sick, but then that image pops up. And I have to tell myself over and over, you know, she's in a better place. She's not sick anymore. But no, you wouldn't have wanted to be there. You wouldn't have wanted to see her like that. it was best that you was away from it to where you could remember her, just like you said, being able to go in there, sit down on the side of the bed, and you and her have y'all's little talks about how each other's day went. That's what you need to hold on to and remember. And that's for anybody out there that's listening that has lost a loved one. Cherish those type of moments. Don't think about the times that they were sick or the times that they passed away. Think about the moments that you shared with them that was special. That was special to you. Because I'll never forget the special times that me and my granddad had, special times that me and my grandmother had, and the special times that me and my aunt had. But like I'm saying to everybody, just hold on to that. Hold on to the good memories.
Beast, do you got anything to say?
Well, I haven't had anyone die that was close to me, and to say, but yeah, I had family die. But the closest person that I've actually was there the night before she died was my mom's boyfriend's grandma. And you can tell that she was going soon because she was just laying there like she was sleeping the whole time we were there for a couple hours. And she'd wake up for a couple minutes and then fall right back to sleep, so you know it's almost the time to go. And the next day, the family didn't even like tell Mama's boyfriend. He had to find out on Facebook and then call and to officially get the news.
Yeah.
Well, they always say that you can tell when somebody's gonna pass because they'll start mentioning people that's not even there. It's like my grandfather, for example. He one day out of the blue, I was sitting back there, and me and him were watching a Western, John Wayne movie. And he looked at me and he's like, "You see that woman sitting over there in that chair?" I was looked at him, I said, Dad, there's nobody sitting over there. He's like, yeah, there is too. He said, she's real pretty too. He said, I can't believe you can't see her. I said, Dad, I don't see her. What does she look like? He said, she's got real pretty red hair and baby bluish eyes. And I got to thinking, hang on a minute. And I went in there and I told my mom, my aunt about it. And I said, yeah, we got an old picture of my grandma. And they're like, yeah, why? I said, I just want to see something. I went in there and showed him that picture. He said, yeah, that's her. That's her. That's who's sitting right there. And that was a month or two before he passed away. She was there to bring him home, take him home. And I know this might sound crazy, but another loss, and I mean, I consider it a family member, would be a pet, like a dog. I had this Boston Terrier growing up, and I mean, that dog would play football with you, basketball. He was crazy. He'd even chase firecrackers. And whenever I lost him, it was real hard. I know Gray can sympathize with me on that because he had a dog he was attached to too.
Yeah, it wasn't even my dog, technically it was my brother's. And he got run over one night. We found him the next day on the way to school. And I told one of my teachers what had happened, so if I got real quiet or put my head down on my desk or something like that, that's what it was. And he took that into consideration and basically said, hey, y'all, give Tyler a break, leave him alone today, he ain't feeling too good. His dog just died last night or this morning. And there was just one motherfucker. Oh my God. This one guy that didn't know how to keep his damn mouth shut. He was that one that I swear to God, if I couldn't control myself, I'd have punched him and made him eat every single one of his damn teeth.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Gray. If it would have been me, I'd have done it.
You know what? If I could go back, I'd do it. But I didn't want. I didn't like trouble. I had enough of it at the house. I sure as hell didn't like it at school. Because if I got it at school, I got it again at the house.
With me, it's a thin line. When it comes to something like that, there's a thin line that you just don't cross. And to me, dude was crossing that line.
Oh yeah, believe me, like I said,
laid him out.
Believe me, like I said, if I could go back, I'd have laid that motherfucker out and took the consequences just right then and there. But at that point in time, I didn't care for trouble.
I'd have hit him and then looked at the teacher and told him, do what you gotta do. I told you, I'm not in the mood for anybody's shit.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, if I could go back, I'd do exactly that and probably more. But at that point in my life, I really didn't like trouble because, like I said, I got enough of it earlier in the school, like from kindergarten up to 8th grade, even 9th grade. And if I got it at school, I got it at the house, and I got enough of it at the house anyways.
Yeah.
So I tend to steer clear from trouble if I can. But what he said, I don't remember all of what he said. I don't even know what he was talking. He was talking shit about me, obviously. And he said something, that's probably the reason why your dog died. Oh, he said that my fists were clenched as hard as they could be. I was about to knock his monkey ass right on. I was about to knock him through the fucking cement block wall. Is how mad I was right then. Into the next classroom. But like I said, I didn't like trouble. I didn't want to get in trouble, so teacher told me, Tyler, don't walk out that door. I walked out the door. I said, you know what? He crossed the line. If I hit him, I'm going to get in more trouble. If I walk out the door, I'm going to maybe get, ISS for like a day. Not even that. Maybe lunch detention for a day. So I walked out the damn door and he came out after me. Tyler, I told you don't walk out that door. I said, I told you I wasn't in the mood. And you heard him. He had to just say something. I didn't get in trouble. So.
Did the teacher ever say anything to the little motherfucker for saying?
No, he didn't say nothing. If I ever see the motherfucker walking on the street, let me tell you something, it's gonna be a different story. And when my papaw passed away later on that year, zip, he didn't say shit. He kept his damn mouth shut. Because I think he got it when he said something about my dog, that if I had just been If I didn't care if I got in trouble, I would have knocked his ass, his little skinny bony ass, straight through that damn cement block wall into the next classroom.
You know, I bet the reason why he kept his mouth shut about your papa was I bet who else was in class with you, whenever they heard him say that shit, I bet he got his ass jumped after school.
No, he had like 2 friends in there, and the rest of them didn't like him, but nobody hung out with him or knew where he lived, except for that. No, he had 1 friend, that was it, and she wasn't even a friend. She was just a bitch. But let me get back to the timer here. I think we're running out of time for this. The timer's gone. Okay. Well, I'm gonna call it early this time. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more in the future. If you have any suggestions for future topics for future Deep End episodes, please leave them in the comments below. With that being said, I'm Mr. Granator. This is Desperado. This is 2Bs for Gaming.
See ya.
You guys have a good day.